Okay, so this one is a cool shift, and it's kind of another thought experiment almost. And it's for a startup, what's the ideal team that you need on your marketing team? What does that look like? Is it 5 people? Is it 2 people? Is it 1 person? Is it just hire an agency? Of course, all of these are an okay answer, but let's do, to narrow it down, let's think of our own, what would we do?
So, I mean, it's almost an impossible question to answer in the sense that, again, like it sounds like a cop-out, but it depends on your budget, your industry, your company, all that kind of stuff. But I think it would make more sense, rather than think about numbers on your team, of think about the job functions in that team. Like, you need someone, if we're talking just marketing, just a marketing team, right?
Yeah, marketing team.
You got to have someone who's capable.
Digital marketing.
Right,
so
right.
let's not even consider, like, the rest
billboards.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I think someone who's got a proficient understanding and the balance of seeing a big picture strategy with the finer details, and having a content strategist. You got to have like someone who can do keyword research, competitive research, who can like take all these abstract concepts that you're coming up with. Like, you want to get your message out, but how do you do it? That can put that all into like a cohesive campaign with blog posts, pillar page, social media, website messaging, all that stuff, email marketing. It's not an easy task, and it has to be done by someone with experience, someone who's got a vision for where you're going. So I think you got to have a content strategist, and I think you also need to have someone. This could be the same person depending on the size of your team, but who's actually going to go write all that content.
Totally.
For a lot of smaller teams, it probably is the same person. We have a lot of tricks for getting content without taking up too much of your time. And
you're looking at it.
Yeah, we're doing it right now. Are we going to transcribe this and turn it into a blog post? I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
Turns out podcasts are content. I don't know. Who knew?
So having someone who can write content and spend like times in the weeds, like writing blog posts, doing the social media, writing emails, and it's not necessarily the hardest thing, especially where they have a good content strategy, but it takes time. Yeah. It's a very time-consuming job, and I think if you're building a marketing team from scratch, that's the kind of person that you could probably go out and find like a college grad who's got like a good writing background, who wants to learn. I don't think you need to find someone with a ton of experience, and someone that can be taught. I think it's a very teachable role, especially with the right management, in the right system. You can hire for someone. You don't have to wait 10 years of experience for that.
Perfect.
Even to jump on those coattails a little bit there, if you're a startup, snagging an intern that's still in school, there's a wealth of talent out there with kids that already know exactly what they're doing.
Dude, our interns are amazing. It's kind of ridiculous,
it's easy
actually.
for us. It's easy for us to do that as an answer because we have some really good interns.
Yeah, we have some really good
We
interns.
have 2, and they're just unbelievable. Yeah. And they're doing stuff without being asked, and they're taking on projects they don't know how to do, and they're like, oh, I'll figure it out, and I'll ask questions, and it's been how much of a difference maker is it? It's just, one of them built a homepage last week. I was like, who was going to do that if we didn't have an intern? Like, we're all slammed. Yeah, and it's been amazing. So again, like Sam said, like there's a lot of talent out there. Kids want to learn. Kids want to be given the opportunity. So, yeah.
So for me, I'm going to jump off what you say. I think you can get the job done with 2 people and then scale it out. It's hard to do it with 1 person. There's people that have to do it. It's just inevitable. But I think you need and this might be your exact same answer, but like a vision or a marketing coordinator who knows where you need to go and what you need to do it.
A decision maker.
Yeah. And then, they need to lay out the plan, and then you need someone to do this for that, because I think it's hard when you're doing the strategy the whole time and you're like executing on the content on it. I mean, you're just like setting yourself up into like so many different clouds, and it's not like it's impossible, but if you have the budget to have 2 people, I think you can really rock it out.
You know what just occurred to me is, if you are trying to run your startup's marketing solo, find a mentor. Like, find somebody who you can run the big picture vision by and can tell you, actually, dude, that doesn't make any sense if I'm not working for you. Just so you know, that copy is nonsense. I've never seen that happen before. Even that can be helpful. Just somebody to run ideas by so that you don't have to hold everything in your head and just feel like you're throwing everything you've got at the wall. But Tim, looked like you were about to say something when I started talking. So.
I was just thinking of what Larry said, that 2-person team. I think I agree, because you got to have that person who's the decision maker, who is like you said, has that vision, knows where to go, what they're doing, is doing like the big picture stuff, like
Setting
the content
goals,
strategy.
yeah.
Setting goals is another big one. Like, okay, how do we track metrics and performance and all that stuff against where we? And usually that's the person that, if it's a small startup, is answering directly to the CEO. And if that person also has to be responsible for like the everyday minutia of creating content, it's one of those, it's almost an impossible ask.
A recipe for burnout.
Yeah, and we've seen that with a lot of our clients, where there's one person marketing team and they are just overwhelmed, which is why they hire us. But we walk into a lot of sticky situations sometimes, and they are totally burnt out.
I want to stop you right there, because I think that's the one other answer is, what if you can't? What if you can't just hire someone? Maybe it's just you. And then what if the answer is bringing in an agency? Mm-hmm. It's kind of a bougie sort of thing to be able to do, I think. Like, not everyone can afford working with an agency, but then you have a whole team who is going to do everything we just said for you. If you have the right agency, they'll be able to, and I don't even want to like talk like it's like us. I'm just saying agencies in general. It's so much work off your plate. What? Yeah,
no, you know what I'm laughing at is as we're recording this, I'm about a week and a half out from my wedding, and people gave me the advice, hire a wedding planner, and we didn't. And really excited for this whole experience to be done and behind me, as excited as I am for it to actually happen. I think that hiring a marketing agency actually can take stress off your plate in a similar way. Mm-hmm. Like, here, think about going about your life, think about the way that you want to communicate this, think about what you want it to look like, whatever, that's all. But this other person is used to doing this, and they will get everything in order for you to your specifications. That's the benefit. You're basically paying a marketing agency to not have to worry about something.
Mm-hmm. I do think, though, you need a goal in mind before you bring these guys on.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're just bringing an agency on to do marketing, I did finger quotes for people listening. That's one thing, but what's your goal? I think that's what it boils down to, is you need someone with the vision and then someone to execute, whether that's another great staff member or maybe an agency.